3. So thanks for being here. I'm glad that you are here. Good to have you. Good to have you. We're going to start at 9 o'clock. So right now it's 8:58. So we have 2 minutes before we get starting. And I like to do a little housekeeping before we get started to let you know that you can still participate in the challenge, the Weight Loss Love Story Challenge, by going to www.weightlosslovestory.com. Weightlosslovestory.com is where you can check in and officially register to be part of the challenge and be able to get the worksheets and other information that I give out, as well as just be connected in the community that's being built over there within the private group, within the Weight Loss Love Story private group. So do that. Weightlosslovestory.com. It's a great place to connect, great place to hook up with other people, and just be fully engaged in the challenge. So we're going to get started here in 1 minute. It's 8:59. And so we'll get started just a second and have a fantastic time tonight. So I like to roll for 30 minutes, right? From 9 to 9:30 so that you can do what you need to do in life. And I'm not taking up all your time, but I'm glad that you are here and I appreciate that. So in just a few seconds, we're going to get rolling and kick off tonight. I think this is going to be another one of these opportunities to build and grow and develop with understanding weight loss from a different perspective than how it's normally sold. So it is 9 o'clock right now. So let's pray and get started. Father, thank you for this day, this opportunity to be connected to these amazing people that are here right now to grow and develop their lives, to transform their lives. I pray blessings upon them. I pray that something that is said or done today resonates with them and can be applied to life so that they can see the transformation that leads to abundant life. I thank you for these things and thank you for these moments. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so today we've been talking about time. Time has been the factor. And we've been talking about time and the fact that we have sometimes limiting beliefs, right? And some of our limiting beliefs are things that we commonly say, things such as, I don't have time, right? I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. Well, we have time. We do definitely have time. Everything that has been accomplished by a human being in this world has been done under the confines of time. So whether great or small, whatever has been done within time. Now, how we use our time is very important. And so we've been looking at today setting aside time for activity and exercise and looking at it through the lens of knowing that we are worth the time. We are worth it, and that time is valuable to us. And so what we're doing when we're having this time of activity, when we're having this time of exercise, what we are actually doing is setting aside sacred moments, what we call them our sacred 20, these sacred 20 minutes of time for us to engage in activity with ourselves. We are making an investment into our relationship with ourselves. And a lot of times, commonly as it pertains to exercise, people will have an adverse response to it, a negative response. And it's like, oh, I don't feel like exercising. I don't want to exercise. But as we look at it, we really see that this thing called exercise, this thing called movement, it's not a punishment for things that we have done. It's not a punishment for what you've eaten. It's not a punishment for the way that your body looks. Exercise is actually a celebration of what you are capable of. And so in this celebration of what you're capable of, when your mind says to your body, hey, you know what? I want to set aside some time to be with you. I want to set aside some time to build a healthy relationship with you. That's not a negative. And I gave the example. I like to use relational terms because we understand it when it sounds like it's coming from someone else. If someone says to you, oh, I got to spend time with you again. That's not something that you want. That's not something that you desire. That's not an outcome that you are going to feel good about when someone is just looking at you and, oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. That's no good. Right? So we don't want that kind of experience in life. To change the camera here. So we don't want that kind of experience. We want an experience where we feel like someone wants to be with us, where someone appreciates the time that we're giving them. It's the same thing for your body. You're in a relationship with your body. And if it's an overwhelmingly negative task for you to have quality time with your body, let me just tell you, you do not want your body deciding that it wants to divorce you, right? Because if it does, that means that you are dead. Okay, we don't want that. So making the investment of time, setting aside a sacred 20 minutes of time that is yours, that you're going to show up every day for that date. And you say, you know what? I'm going to show up from this time to that time, and I'm going to show up for myself to make this deposit investment in myself into this loving relationship. I said, we were talking earlier, and we're talking about like being in love with yourself and loving yourself for life. Right? Loving yourself for life as a measure of time. How long are you going to love yourself? I'm going to love myself for life. But also looking at it from this standpoint as an outcome. I am loving myself for the outcome of life. I want to do things that are going to produce more life more abundantly. So loving myself for life, loving myself for the outcome of life. It all works together. And so as we look at this thing called time, we have to see that there are seasons to it. And as we go through the seasons and process of time, we have to understand on this weight loss journey, we are not trying to win this all at once. And I said earlier, whatever your goal is, make it a year-long goal. Give yourself a year to achieve it at minimum. Whatever it is, I need to lose 5 pounds. Fine. Stick it out a year, 5 pounds in a year. So that way you can take time off of your mind. Right? We want to simplify this process. We want to take time and go, I'm going to give myself a year to achieve this. I'm not going to put the pressure of, I need to have it done in 2 weeks. I need to have it done in 3 weeks. No. That's too much stress. And your relationship is not at that place yet. You can't walk into your relationship, starting a new relationship, starting your weight loss journey, and start off by saying, I want you to lose weight. Your body's going to say, no, no, you don't get to talk to me that way. So you need to say, all right, I want to show up for you. I want to be committed to you. I want you to know that you can trust me because I'm saying I'm going on this weight loss journey so you can trust me with this because I'm going to keep showing up. And then your body can go through the process of learning how to trust you, right? And then as your body goes through this process and it starts to relax and it starts to recognize, hey, she's really serious about this. I will now, by default, because she's doing what needs to be done, I will start changing because she's being faithful. She's being consistent. She's showing up. I can rely on her. I have some sense of what's going on now, and she's not all over the place, right? Then your body says, I can get settled into this relationship. But I mentioned this earlier. If someone has been abusing you, and then all of a sudden one day they show up and say, things are different now. I realize that I need to love you. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. For me, my defense is not going down just because you showed up after years of punishing me. And then you're going to say, oh, things are different now. I expect you to be different. Be different. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works for your body either. We don't get to abuse our bodies and then all of a sudden one day show up and start making demands for change. It's not how it works. So today we've been talking about time so that we can strategize and understand that this is a process. Okay. And so on the worksheet, that if you downloaded the worksheet, if you're officially in the challenge, you can get the worksheets out of the group. On the worksheet, on this final section, it has some different segments. It talks about meal prep, talks about menu prep, talks about meal prep, and then it has meals on there. Meal number 1, mini meal number 1, meal number 2, mini meal number 2, and then meal number 3. Okay, so meal prep, menu prep, and meal prep. We start to strategize. This thing called food, right? It's a part of our love story now. We're not simply going to just run to food as an emotional response. We're not going to run to food as a partner just because we're bored. Like, no, we're not just running to food for this, right? Food has a job. What's food's job? The purpose and job of food is to fuel activity. It is not to cure boredom. It is not to soothe emotional aches and pains and wounds, right? Food is not, that's not the purpose of food. We use it for that. That's not the purpose of food. The purpose of food is to fuel activity. If we underfuel ourselves, we're going to have a problem. If we overfuel ourselves, we're going to have a problem. Okay. So we're looking to find out what best works. And how are we going to go about doing that? With strategy. Okay. So on a particular day, I want you to think about when you are going to design your menu for the next week. Right? Not just I'm gonna show up on this day and I'm just gonna take it as it goes. No, that is random. And we know that being random is going to produce an inconsistent result. It's just not going to, it never works. Being random is too risky. When you're at the beginning of a relationship, again, if you say, I don't know really when I'm going to contact you. Don't know when you're going to contact me. It'll just happen when it happens. I don't know if you're going to contact me once a week. I don't know if you're going to contact me 10 times a day. We don't have any kind of idea of what's going on. We don't strategize anything. We don't communicate about our communication. We just kind of leave it to chance. How many relationships right now are totally messed up because communication is just left to chance? People don't set aside time. They don't check in with one another. It's just random. Well, here's the thing about food. When we eat food, we are communicating something to our body. Everything that we eat has communication within it. It's telling you to do something. The type of food that we eat actually communicates to our body what's going to happen. Carbohydrates, they're like, all right, that means we're going to do something. It's going to be fast and it's going to be over. When we start looking at like protein, we're going to do something. It's going to last for a longer period of time. And there's likely to be some repair that's going to be needed. So I'm giving you this for that. Fats is going to say, listen, we're going to do something. It's going to last for a long time. So you're going to use this as a sustainable energy source over a period of time. There's communication in our food. But if we don't understand that we are actually talking to our bodies when we eat, then we recognize why our relationships with ourselves are so messed up. Candy, Reese cups, that communicates to me I'm in a happy place, right? You're going to get sick of hearing me about Reese cups, but they're my go-to. But it says, hey, it's something sweet, they're carbohydrates, it's sugars, not really, it's going to be a quick burst of energy, but not sustainable long-term. Don't look for any nutrients, really don't look for this to be nutrient dense. So basically I'm giving you a little fluff. That's what I'm communicating to my body. Okay. And so as we start to communicate with our body, then our body starts to communicate back to us. When we get to this position where we want to start losing weight, what we know without being offended is our body is telling us, you have given me more fuel than what you're using. That's it. That's it. Right. That's what we've said. And so the emotional part of how the industry has been set up and how cosmetics is being sold would make you feel tremendously bad for that. It would insult you. It would put you down. It would shame you because you have taken in more than what you've used. Here's where the change starts to happen. As we start to strategize this and we start to understand the purpose of food and how it works and just simply being more active, then guess what? Our body will start to make adjustment. We consume so many more calories than what we really need because they're just tucked into everything. Most people like underestimate how many calories they eat by 30 to 50%. And then they overestimate how active they are. And then we're not even going to try to go that deep at the beginning of our love story. We're not going that deep trying to figure out all the calories and all that. That's like, starting a relationship new with someone and then going in real deep, trying to find out all their history. You're like, wait, it's just day one. No, you don't get, You don't need to know what my bank account routing number is and my bank account number. No, you don't need my debit card. No, you're not getting all that on day one. So listen, we're going to start sensible. Here's what you know at the beginning. At the beginning, what I have found over years and years and years of doing this is that at the beginning, most people don't know much of anything that they're doing. They're just not aware. So that means I'm in a relationship with myself and I'm really unaware of what I'm doing. I'm not conscious of my actions. I'm not conscious that I'm hurting myself when I do this. Have you ever heard somebody say that, like, oh, well, I didn't know that that was going to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to do that. That is one of my pet peeves. When someone says, well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Because what that says to me is, well, you didn't strategize not hurting my feelings for the most part. See, there's another side of the coin. I can say I didn't mean to, or I could say I was so conscious of you that I was thinking of you. I was thinking of caring for you beforehand. So as I started to move forward, I started to think about what I was going to do because it was that important to me. I'm strategizing my actions now, not just simply responding to what happens. All right. So now you start to think, we don't want to have a conversation with ourselves that's, oh, I didn't mean to keep giving you those empty meals. I didn't mean to keep feeding you stuff that wasn't helping you be healthy and strong. Because now we get to say, you know what? I fed you that on purpose. I gave you at least my best effort at nourishing you because you matter that much to me. I love you that much that even with my economic status being what it is, I can make my best effort. Here's what I know. If you have very little money in the bank and it's an economic strain and you feel like, well, I can't eat better because it's an economic strain, you can still put forth a loving action. You may not have the same quality food as someone else, but you can sure put it forth an effort, right? And you can start to strategize. You say, all right, well, it's going to be better for me to buy a little bit of nutrient dense food than it is for me to give myself a whole lot of fluff. Right? Here we go. Is it better for someone to give you moments of quality time or a whole lot of time of distracted time? Would you rather have someone just be there, or would you want them to be totally engaged with you for a period of time where you knew, wow, I really mattered? Right? This is how we start to think about it. Your body does not want food. Your body wants nutrition. It wants to be nourished, and it will be happier with a little bit of nourishment over a whole lot of junk. Okay? Your body's like, listen, don't give me the fluff. Give me nourishment. I'm going to do better off of that than I am off of this fluff, because this other stuff is not going to sustain me. You can keep putting in stuff that is not meeting my need. And guess what I'm going to tell you? I'm still hungering for something that's genuine. We don't want to put our bodies in a position where it is being fed something that is causing it to still hunger for something nourishing. When we have a conversation with ourselves, this is why we talked about this yesterday. When you are looking at yourself, and as you are embracing this new chapter and this new journey, and you're moving forward in a love story, your mind does not want to hear you insulting your body. Like the diet that you have had, your diet of words that you have had, your diet of thoughts that you've had, all that stuff has just been unhealthy. It has been filling your mind without nutrients, and so it leaves you empty. I don't know anyone that can constantly insult themselves, pour poison into their own life, and feel healthy because of it. It's just not the way poison works. The power of life and death, it's in your tongue, it's in your words. So what you are communicating to yourself when you are insulting yourself, when you are demeaning yourself, when you are putting yourself down, guess what? What's happening is you are killing yourself from the inside out. And so we have to change. This is why we have to change the dialogue. Because when we change the dialogue and it's not, oh, I have to work out. When we change the dialogue and you say, listen, I have an opportunity to do activities in this life. I have an opportunity to use this body that I have to do something, to enjoy life, to experience life. Like I get to set up a date with myself from a certain time to a certain time, 20 minutes. I'm going to set it up. That's my date time where I get to love on me. And I know that the investment that I'm making in myself is going to help me not only be stronger and healthier, but it's going to help me to have more experiences in life. And this is how this works. When you take care of the small things, like a 20-minute period of time, then you get gifted more time. Like, you know what? You've been so good with the 20. Here's more time for you to experience life. Because now you're not struggling to do things that you weren't struggling to do, right? If it took you a certain amount of time to go up and down the steps, as you start to become healthier, guess what you're going to do? You're going to start getting that time back because you're going to get faster at it. You're going to be moving more efficiently. And so now where it was taking you this amount of time to go up the steps, you've now saved 30 seconds or what have you, which means that's 30 seconds given back into your life for something else. That might not seem like a lot, but when you start adding it up, you're like, man, I notice now it doesn't take me as long to do what I once was doing. And so my life is being impacted. Time is opening up, right? You are strategizing, saving your own life so that you can have greater experiences in life with other people, do things, have adventures, right? So that you can use this body that you have to accomplish something. There is a purpose inside of you. Perhaps you have dreams that have been just living on the inside, unfulfilled. We talked about our 5 H's: health, heart, hopes, haven, heirs, children, and legacy. Health, heart, hopes, haven, and heirs, meaning children and legacy. Those 5 H's help you to be a whole person, a complete person. And so when you start to really take care of the health, which is that outer part, the part that physical part, what it's going to do is going to open up for you the internal parts. You start developing your health, there's going to be some heart matters, some emotional matters that are going to start to heal as well, because you are now strategizing, loving on yourself, which is going to help you heal. Then your hopes will start opening up and you'll say, I used to be afraid of doing this, but now I want to try this. And there was a business in me that I was so ashamed of. I wanted to do it, but I was so ashamed of my body that I didn't want to put myself out there because I thought someone was going to ridicule me. And I was so insecure that I couldn't do it. But now I'm starting to feel strong. No. My body hasn't fully changed, but I still feel good about me. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and do my business and I'm going to go ahead and start it. And I can go ahead and stand up and make a presentation. And I'm not going to worry about what someone is saying about me because I'm starting to feel good on the inside. See, this is how the game changes. And I'm telling you because I know, and I've seen it happen time after time after time. This is why we have to decide. You have to decide what you are going to feed yourself. Like, think about that for a second. What are you going to feed yourself? What are you going to feed your body? What are you going to feed your mind? What are you going to feed your relationships? Like, if we really think about it, when you start to strategize, like, okay, wait a second now. What am I going to feed me so that I can be like at my peak performance, so that I can be healthy and strong? What will I feed myself in order to perform, in order to have adventure, in order to experience life more abundantly? What am I committing to feeding myself? That's what happens when I have a menu. And I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to strategize my menu on Sunday. Let's just use Sunday. I'm going to strategize, let's say Saturday. I'm going to strategize my menu on Saturday. Okay? Strategize my menu on Saturday. Okay? And then that's just me sitting down, thinking about what I want to eat for the week. I take my containers. Remember we talked about y'all in my cabinet. I take my containers I'm like, what am I going to put in my containers of love, right? That's what we said these were. These are containers of love that are helping us to strategize our love story. So, in my containers of love, how am I going to fill them? Because what you put in your containers is going to show you how you are really thinking about yourself. This is why we're going to do this. Because when you look into your container and you see, oh, this actually looks like it's healthy. I'm actually really committed to this. Because in my container, I filled my love. I'm filling my tank with love because I strategize loving myself. This is a lot different from just, oh, I'm just going to stop along the way, because when we stop along the way, we're going to get what is convenient. What is convenient, okay, oftentimes will not support the love that you are really trying to give yourself, because love costs you. Love is going to cost you something. Love is not convenient. Here's a newsflash. Love is going to make you do the hard thing. Love is going to challenge you. Love says, are you being patient when you don't feel like being patient? Love says, are you being kind when you don't feel like being kind? Love says, can you forgive yourself for what happened in the past so that you can have a fresh start today? Love says, I'm going to protect you when I see that there is vulnerabilities. See, love shows up to be a force of conflict. That's why we are changing our life with a love story. And that's why I told you that love and change is a matter of conflict. Because love says, I'm going to show up, and in the face of what is here now, I am going to call upon you to do something greater. This is why this is so exciting. Because you get to now show up and you say, no, I'm going to strategize my love, how I fuel myself with love, as opposed to just going about the day uncertain and doing a convenient thing. I'm going to now set aside time for myself because I value myself as a matter of time. I am now putting myself on my own schedule. How important am I that I now have become a matter of scheduling? I now say I'm significant enough to make it onto my schedule. I'm not leaving myself to be the last person thought about in my life anymore. Because when I've done that, guess what? I ended up beaten and broken and hurting and abused, and I felt like the last person on the schedule. And so we have to make the change. Here's why you have to make this change. Because if you don't make the change, people will continue to walk over you and walk all over you, and they'll continue to treat you like a doormat, and they'll continue to overlook you, because that's the tone that you are setting. I love you dearly, and I need you to just grant me permission to care about your future more than your feelings on this one. You have created a low standard for yourself, and other people are just, they're okay with it. One of the ladies that I trained, she wanted to lose 100 pounds. And we were talking. She was hilarious. She's just a funny person, right? And we were having a real heart to heart. And I said, we're close enough that I said, you know what? I said, you know why people are okay with you? Because you're the fat, funny friend. I was like, that's why. I was like, they're okay with you being the fat, funny friend. I was like, it's time for that to change. And guess what? In this process, you're going to start losing friends. See, what I'm going to tell you right now is that some people have you around and they're good. I got to tell you this because I don't want you thinking that this transformation is not going to come with a cost, because it is. As you transform your life and as you change, people that you thought were good with you, you're going to find out their true colors. They're okay with you being around because you have a lower standard, that they're able to walk over you. They're able to use you. And when you discipline yourself, your discipline is going to expose them. I see it happen every single time. People are going to start telling you, oh, you're so brand new now. You don't want to go out and eat with us anymore. Oh, so now you're on this weight loss thing. You're that person now. And they're going to start insulting you, and they're going to start putting you down, and they're going to start mocking you, and they're going to make fun of you on your journey. Girl, you've tried that before. Okay, another weight loss plan. Okay. Oh, you're on a love story this time. You're writing a love story. Okay. Right? So you're going to listen, I'm telling you straight up. All right. But the beauty of what's going on here, there's a community. You see other people around you right now that are on the same journey, that are going to speak to you. Like I saw it, I was in the Facebook group earlier, and I saw people that did not know each other commenting on their posts. Somebody said, girl, I got my jump rope. Somebody's like, yeah, I got mine too. It's on the way. Mine's getting delivered tomorrow. And so they're talking, building community. Once somebody said, I was having problems downloading the worksheet. Then I saw someone else that didn't know him said, listen, if you give me your email, I'll email it over to you. People that don't know each other are now being invested in one another. So let me just tell you, whoever decides to leave, thank God that they're moving. Like, just be like, you know what? Thank you. You were for a different season in my life, and my life is changing. And what I'm doing now is so intentional that I'm not trying to simply just have volume of people be around. Like, this volume doesn't mean anything. Volume can we know volume, right? We know volume. Volume can simply mean that there's a lot of filler. We can eat a lot of volume, but it doesn't mean that it's quality. Doesn't mean that we're being nourished by it. Listen, I'm probably creating problems for some of you in your relationships right now, because you're going to start looking at people differently. Like, wait a second, are you filler or are you nourishing? Are you nourishment or filler? Do I have you here simply because I don't want to feel like I'm by myself? Or do you really add something to my life? Are you enriching me? Are you nourishing me? Or is there something else? And so we have to really understand what we're feeding ourselves. There are some people that we've been feeding ourselves with. They're not nourishing you. It's not nourishment. It's filler. It's filler. And so we have to make some decisions. And when you sit down and you begin meal prepping on your first layer, which is that outer layer, you're going to start thinking about your life differently, because you're strategizing now. Like, you set aside on here, it says menu prep. The day, it says start time, it says finish time. Why? Because I want you to be intentional. I want you to set aside sacred time for you, time that has been set apart for you. So you say, yes, on Saturday from 3 to 3:30, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to create my menu. Why? Because I'm worthy of a menu. Right? You tell yourself, when you go to a really, really fancy place and someone's going to serve you, shucks, even when you go to McDonald's, they have a menu. Why? Because they plan on serving you. Burger King will tell you, have it your way. Even they know that you're important. So guess what? When you sit down and you make a menu, right? You're going to sit down, you're going to write out your menu from a certain time to a certain time on a certain day, because you are worthy of creating something, creating a plan that you are going to serve yourself. This is right. This is all right. You're going to make a menu because you're strategizing. I'm going to serve myself this love. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to serve myself the love. I'm going to have to make some menu worksheets so we can just have menu worksheets. I'm going to get those done. I'll make them tonight, or maybe early in tomorrow morning. So I'm going to make some menu worksheets so we can start filling it out or something, right? But then, so you have your menu, you make your menu worksheet, then you have your menu prep day. That might be the next day, right? So that means you're going to go out, you go get your groceries, and then you take the time. You're going to invest the time in preparing for the week. You put all these in containers, you strategize your love for the week, you put it in your refrigerator, it's good to go. Then you go through, what time of the day are you going to have your meals? Start to schedule. Start to set an appointment. Why? Because in this, it might seem like a lot, but what you are doing is you're creating trust. We are strategizing how to create trust with our own being. So many times, I said this earlier, so many times we tell ourselves into our own hearing that we are going to do something, and then we don't do it. And so you know what happens? Inside of you, there is a lack of trust for you. Your word doesn't mean anything. Because you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then you don't do it. And so your body, your whole being is like, she ain't gonna do it. She's not gonna do it. And then you don't even believe in yourself. You start to hear your own words and you're like, you're not gonna do it. Oh, I'm gonna start my business. You're not gonna do it. There'll be something that gets in your way because you don't even take the time to strategize anything in your life. You don't do what you say you're going to do. So when you start with this, when you complete this and you set up time, you are telling yourself, listen, I'm not only saying I'm doing this, but I've now written this thing down. So it's no longer just in my mind. Here's the power of writing something down. I'm not simply talking about just typing it on a computer. When you write something down, it leaves your mind. It leaves an invisible place and becomes tangible. The moment that you write it down, the moment that it gets to paper, it becomes real. It's no longer just an imagination. See, sometimes we type things on the computer. That's a little digital. Right? That's a little on the digital side. I know people like to do it, but I'm like, no. Sometimes you need to scribble something down so that you can hear the noise, that you can feel your body, right? Like, no, you need it to make it to paper. Right? And so when you're preparing and you're putting down the times, this is what time I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat my first meal at this time. I'm going to add in another mini meal at this time. It was important. I did not say snacks, right? Because snacks, we think, you might think a really cute person, but no, not that kind of snack. We're thinking snacks. Typically, our conditioning for snacks is something that's not, it's not good. So snacks have equaled not healthy. So what we're going to do are meals. We're going to make a meal. We're going to make a mini meal, a meal and a mini meal, and then another meal. So that way we are thinking consciously of nourishing. And we're not, and here's the deal. When you nourish yourself, you're not going to be as hungry because your body is going to turn off the system that says, I need some, time to go. Your body's going to turn off the system that says, I need something. I'm not looking for something. Your body will say, no, I'm good. You've given me what I needed. I was asking for quality time. You gave me quality time. I was asking for words of affirmation. Girl, you've been speaking so kind to me. I was asking for gifts. Oh, you keep giving me these gifts. Asking for acts of service. I love the activities that we're doing. We're doing something. What did I forget? Physical touch, right? Physical touch and acts of service. We're doing stuff. So the physical touch, we're doing activities, right? Acts of service, might treat yourself to something, go get your hair done, go get your nails done, like you straighten up your room, you buy yourself a new candle, you might do something for yourself, like whatever. So, like let's realize that we might have to study the 5 love languages just to apply it to ourselves. So you have your worksheet, you have what to complete. Okay. You're strategizing your menu. You're strategizing your food. You're not leaving it to chance because what you serve yourself in your containers of love is going to make a difference in your body. Right? This is not a chore. These are gifts. This is a gift to yourself. This is not a burden to you. This is a joy. You have the opportunity to serve yourself life more abundantly. Like, that's good stuff. Your daily I love yous are going to be sitting there. You get to eat them. It's going to be good stuff. All right. So, fantastic. If you have not ordered your jump ropes, listen, on Thursday, we're going to be jump roping. You can get these bad boys on Amazon, weighted jump ropes. You can call them like ropeless jump ropes. You Google them. If you're in the Facebook group, you can see them in there. So get your jump ropes, because we'll be, learning how to create workouts and do things that won't require you putting a lot of stress and strain on your body. When you're carrying extra weight, jumping is not always favorable, right? I know people do it. It is hard on your joints, right? It's hard on your joints. Even if you're not carrying extra weight, jumping is hard on your joints. But when you are carrying more, that's just even more pounding on your joints. So these allow you to quote unquote jump rope without having to jump up in the air. And so you're just wiggling them around, and you don't even have to leave the ground. You can step side to side, what have you. So we can be really creative with these. I think there's going to be a great tool for you. So you can get those on Amazon. Like I said, go get your containers of love. Go get these. You can get them from the dollar store, some of those big box stores, Walmarts. You can basically get these anywhere. So, and I said, some of mine came from the Chinese, ordering Chinese food. So whatever. So you have those, right? So those two things. And I wanted to pay for someone's jump rope. Okay. So as a giveaway, if you have bought your jump rope, I'm looking in the comments section right now. So if you've already bought your jump rope and it has, and somebody's ordering theirs after class, somebody just tell me, I need it in the comments section. Tell me something that is a takeaway for you from any of the sessions that you've been in. Put it in the comments section. I'm going to read it. So I'm looking for one to pop up so I can buy your jump rope for you as a gift. And you just, you send me your Venmo or your PayPal or whatever, Cash App, and I'm going to send you over the money, right? So that you can have it. So I'm looking for a comment about the jump rope or, your takeaway. So I'm looking. I'm waiting for somebody to put something in, right? Love takes effort. Who said it? Because it says Facebook user. I need to know your name. Love takes effort. That's a good one. What's your name? What is your name? Because that's what I saw first. Love takes effort. So who is that? Who said love takes effort? You got to put your name in, and right. So I can send you some money to pay for your jump rope. The jump ropes aren't super expensive. Anitra. So Anitria, right? Anitria, you are the recipient of jump ropes. So whether or not you ordered them or what have you, I'm going to send you money so that you can have your jump ropes on me. My gift to you. Thanks for being part of the challenge. Thanks for being part of the sisterhood. I truly appreciate you being engaged. So listen, this is going to be fun. The rest of this week, we're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to give away the, give Anitra some love. Celebrating somebody else is a great way to have things happen for you. When you start celebrating other people's victories, come on now, that's good stuff. So, Anitra, people are shouting you out there. They're excited for you. That is awesome. So there'll be more giveaways. We're going to give away coaching sessions. For those people that might be interested in that, I'm going to be giving away those things. And then my big giveaway that I call a big giveaway is I can't wait to give this away. This Ninja blender, and that's gonna be fun. So we're gonna give away the Ninja blender. It's not sponsored by anybody. I bought it myself to give away to you. So it's out of my pocket, and I'm excited to give it away to somebody. So you got to be here. You got to be engaged, right? In order to in order to have these things. So thank you all for being here. It's been a fantastic night. You're definitely encouraging me, and your energy adds to my energy. So thanks for bringing it. Thanks for deciding that loving yourself is worth it. This is good stuff, right? We're doing a good thing. And so we have a few days left in the challenge. If you have not officially joined the challenge, do so. Go to weightlosslovestory.com and get connected, right? You're connected anyway. You might as well be fully connected. Weightlosslovestory.com. Get fully connected. Be officially a part of the challenge. And let's continue having a fantastic week together. Tomorrow, we're back on the same schedule that we've been on. So we'll have 9 a.m. 12 p.m., and then 9 p.m., all Eastern Standard Time. 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and then 9 p.m. 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and then 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you all have a fantastic evening. I'm B.A. Shepherd, 2Ps, A-R-D, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And you are strong. I love you very much. Good night. See ya.